What's up, guys? Before we start, this isn't a plumbing video. Sorry to disappoint you. So if you're here for plumbing, this isn't the video for you. Now, you may know that I have took an interest in marathons, and I've been running quite a few European marathons since last year. And I decided to film the last one. So we went to Stockholm in Sweden to do the Stockholm Marathon. Myself and 3 other plumbers off Instagram. And I basically documented it. I just filmed while I was out there, and I've done a voiceover. So if you're interested, basically, when I do a marathon abroad, it's kind of an experience for me, and I've become a little bit addicted to it. Normally fly out on the Friday, do a bit of touristy stuff, go to get my race number, eat some nice food, local cuisine, go out at night, get your bearings. On the Saturday, I like to do a park run. So if that country has a park run, I'll choose a park run, do that Saturday morning. And then you've got all day Saturday to explore, go for some nice food, carb load, which is great. And then Sunday, it's the race. By then you've got your bearings, you know how you're going to get there, what time you got to get there. You set up with your food and stuff. You do the marathon, and then after the marathon, you go out for some more nice food. And while you're doing the marathon, you see parts of the city that you would never normally see, because you run in and out past all the famous landmarks, but also through the side streets and places you wouldn't normally go. So I love that aspect of it. And then normally fly home on the Monday, which, depending on your flight time, gives you a bit of time on the Monday to do some more exploring. So it just becomes like a nice way to see the world. And yeah, I'm pretty addicted to it. So I organised the Stockholm Marathon with some mates off Instagram, and this is what we did. I've done a voiceover, so it's just footage from the trip. Just to let you know, cost-wise, flights, normally about 200 quid, return flights with your baggage. We stayed in a hostel, which was 20 quid a night. And then obviously your food, entry to the marathon, which is normally about 60 to 100 euros. So all in all, the trip cost about 500 quid. I think it was totally worth it. Now, this one was a little bit special because we not only went to Stockholm, we also then got an internal flight to Copenhagen in Denmark. The reason for that is, and you'll probably think this is crazy, but because we were out in Sweden, I wanted to do a park run. And the marathon in Sweden is at 12 o'clock on a Saturday, and a park run is 9:30 on a Saturday morning. So we did the park run on the Saturday morning. We also did a 5k fun run on the Friday night. And then on the Monday, we were in Denmark for a park run in Copenhagen because they had a special day. So normally park runs are on a Saturday, but this, for some reason, they had a park run on a Monday. So we got 2 park runs done while we were away, one in Denmark, one in Sweden, the pre-marathon 5k fun run, and then also the marathon. So it was like a running weekend. It was awesome. I had a great time. The lads had a great time. This is the video. I'd love to know what you think. I don't expect you to watch this if you're a plumber, but if you're interested in running, hopefully you'll get something from it. Or if you're thinking about doing a marathon, or you just want to watch the video because you like me, that'd be great. And if you do like it, the next marathon I'm doing is Warsaw in Poland in September. I'm doing Lisbon Marathon in October and Athens Marathon in November. So if you do like it, I'll make sure I film those as well. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. If you've got any questions, leave me a comment. I'd love to see what you think. Let me know if you want me to make more videos like this. And if you're interested in coming on the Lisbon Marathon, we've still got some spaces left. And the Athens Marathon, I believe we've still got a couple of spaces left on that. So drop me a DM on Instagram. Cheers, guys. So after work on the Thursday, we got in the van and we drove down to Stansted Airport. Me and Josh shared a room in the Premier Inn. That's me separating the bed with a towel so he won't go anywhere near me. And then he must have asked me at least 10 times what he could take on the plane with regards to fluids. Yeah, did my head in. And then we got the plane to Stockholm Airport. This is the airport. You get off the plane and then you join this little queue and you're outside. There's only one passport booth with 2 people in checking passports. While we were stood waiting, which was about half an hour, they cleaned our plane, and the people in the airport came out of the airport and got onto our plane while we were still queuing to get in. I've never seen that before. It's just a small airport, one plane at a time. There was no other planes landing in this time. Then we worked out a transfer to the city centre from the airport. It was on this coach, so we bought a ticket got our cases on, and then we got dropped off right in the middle of Stockholm. From there, it was a short walk to try and find where we pick up our race bibs. So if you've never done a marathon before, what I like to do is when I get to the area, I go straight to the Sport Expo, which is like a running show, to pick up my race number, just so I know I've got everything and I can sort of relax. Public transport's great for this. Trying to get your bearings, work out whether it's better to get a tram, the tube, taxi, whatever. And you get to see a bit of the city as well. So we jumped on a bus. I can't remember, but I think you paid for a ticket, and then that lasted for like an hour and a half, so you could get as many buses as you want in that hour and a half. Made our way to the Olympic Stadium. Now the Olympic Stadium's just to my left from here. This is sort of a sports centre running track. So this is where everything's set up ready for the 5k fun run tonight, toilets and stuff. And then across here you'll see people, normally what you'll see is people walking away from it with their bags. But we asked a few people where to go, and it's across here, so walking across. And then this is the expo. So you'll go in, there'll be things to buy, like trainers to try on, running gear. Once you've bought a pair of trainers and you want to try them on, there's a treadmill so you can have a go. There will be, hopefully, limited edition stuff. I always like to pick up something for the marathon from where I'm running. Normally a pair of socks. This time I got this awesome vest that says Stockholm Marathon 23 on it. Really nice vest, that. And there'll be loads of other stuff going on. You'll be able to try out gels. There'll be massage chairs, sport watches like your Garmin watches. There's all kinds of stuff going on. To be honest with you, this Stockholm one was a little bit disappointing. I'm used to them being a little bit bigger and a little bit better than this. But, you know, it is what it is. Got my race number, got a limited edition vest. And then we did a little bit of touristy stuff. There's food to get. There'll be like banners like this one with a map on. What was disappointing with this one, normally you'll see every runner's name on a big bit of wall art. There wasn't that here, so missed that. Then it's over to the Olympic Stadium to pick up our race numbers for the 5k fun run. On the Friday night, we're doing basically a warm-up 5k fun run around where the marathon's going to be, sponsored by Adidas. Just a bit of atmosphere. There's a pasta party, so this is laid on for free if you've entered. You can come down, there's music, people sat having pasta, there's drinks, just a great atmosphere really. So we came down to that. We've still got our bags with us because we've not been to the hostel yet, so everyone's flagging a bit, but it was nice to get some fuel. This was some kind of crisp bread, and then pasta and olives with pesto on it, some spinach and some water. But it was more about the atmosphere than the food. After that, we worked our way away from the stadium, and it's again trying to work out how to use the public transport. This time we're trying to find our hostel. One thing I do love about coming to these different cities is trying the different public transport, seeing how clean everything is, and just getting to look around the city. So everyone's a bit tired because the flight was really early this morning. We just want to get to the hostel now and get rid of our bags. I've got a backpack on my back. It's been really heavy. This time we're on the underground, but it does go overground for some sections. And then from that stop, it was about a 5-minute walk to the hostel. So I've never stayed in a hostel before. I arranged this on Airbnb, had good reviews. Basically, we went into the reception, the guy signed us in, and then this is the hostel. So we've been to the shop, bought a load of supplies. You can fill the fridge with your stuff. So we've got some fresh fruit, some porridge oats, honey, bananas, all that kind of gear that you need to eat before you run. So here's me making everyone's breakfast. It's one of them things, people trying to shower one at a time because it was quite a busy hostel. Here's the room. So there was 3 of us in here and 3 people we didn't know. So there was 2 Australian lads. This bed, there was an American woman, but she left, so we were using it to get ready. And then we're now on the Saturday morning. So great idea of mine, but I wanted to do a park run while I was in Sweden. So we're doing the park run, which starts at 9:30, and the marathon actually starts at 12. So we're cutting it close, but we're just using this as a warm-up run. So we're just going to do a very gentle jog round. Then once we've done this, we're going to go and get a second breakfast and sort of fuel for the marathon. It was a great atmosphere. We made it just in time for the start. You see us there. We're driving now, chucking our bags down. They're just about ready to go.
Just made it.
Really great atmosphere with a park room. We can just leave our bags there. We know they'll be safe. It's a great community. And then we just did a really slow run. I think we did this in around half an hour, this 5k. So just getting the cobwebs off. It was a lovely location, really nice park. It was 2 laps. So sort of through the woods and then by this lake and then through the woods again and back round. Lots of filming going on. Everyone's doing their Instagram stories and filming for YouTube. But I think I've never done a run before. Normally the marathons are like 8, 9 a.m. start on a Sunday.
You didn't want.
I've already
I
had
think
one.
it's got rid of a lot of the nerves for us. And that's just an example of the parkrun atmosphere. People just walking around offering you cakes. Everyone wants a photo afterwards. People hang around afterwards to chat. This one was actually ran by a lady who used to live in London, so she gave us directions to get to somewhere nearish the start line. Now I found this awesome hotel. They were still doing breakfast. It was like a buffet and they had everything. There was so much good food here. But on the end of this hot buffet there was a massive bowl of porridge and some kind of like apple and cinnamon compote thing. So we all loaded up on food there for the pre-run, and then this is us walking to the start line. We've obviously got to drop our bags off because we're coming straight from the hostel, so we're just looking now for somewhere to drop the bags. We were a tiny bit late, but there's so many people still walking, so it wasn't too bad. And you'll find when there is a marathon, if you're not one of the elite runners and you're not going to be winning the thing, you can sort of arrive when you want because it will be so busy. There's the balloons. If you don't know, they're your pace setters. So if you want to do a 4:30 marathon, you follow a guy with a 4:30 balloon or a 4:30 banner. They're quite useful. I did try running with one of those at the Istanbul Marathon in Turkey, and I was running with the 4:15 guy, and then the 4:30 overtook us, which was really strange to me. I didn't know what was going on, so in the end I sacked him off and just did my own run. I think I did about a 4:25 on that one, 4:23. Anyway, back into the sports ground. So this is where the bag drop is. Massive section in the middle there, kit bag drop off area. And then once we dropped them off, it was finding our gate. So depending on how fast you run, you go through a different gate to go to a different start point. And then, as always, there's queues for the toilet. Everyone needs a nervous wee. I actually queued in these, but sometimes it's better to keep walking and go to the last set of toilets you come to because they'll normally be the quietest. And then this is the queue for the start line. So because there's so many people going through at once, the first 10 minutes walking up to the start line, they've just started now where those pink clouds went off. You'll just be walking, trying to get through the volume of traffic. And that's it, that's me finished. Back in the Olympic Stadium. Just finished my run, got a PB, 4 hours and 11 minutes. Really pleased, got my medal. Stay in my hair. It was about 21 degrees, so it was really hot. And then afterwards, you're in bits. My calf muscles were just twitching constantly. It was like they were trying to cramp up. So ideally I would have got my legs in some cold water, but there wasn't really anywhere to do that. There was some hose pipes, so I ran my legs under the hose for a bit, which did help. Sometimes you can get a massage if it's not too busy, if you don't want to queue. You can get a massage, but there's my medal. Totally worth it. And then a quick walk round, you can get some free drinks. This alcoholic free beer was quite nice. Get some electrolytes out of that. Don't normally drink Red Bull, but that was free. And then a protein yogurt. And that's all I had before I was thinking about my first meal, which is normally like a massive burger and chips. So now we're walking away from the marathon. Now we're all done. Everyone's sort of limping, feeling a bit sorry for themselves. And we're just trying to find now somewhere decent to eat. So we made our way into the middle here. There was a few different restaurants, but I decided on a really nice burger bar just down the road. It's a long walk, but it's good to keep moving, because if you don't, your legs will seize up. And there we go, had a double, I think it was called a California burger, chocolate shake, sweet potato fries. Yeah, it was awesome. And then we went back to the hostel. By the time we got there, I was still hungry, so I went for a kebab. So I got mixed kebab and some ayran. Then next day, we got to Stockholm Airport, and we're flying to Copenhagen. Now, I don't know if you've seen my backpack before, but whenever I go anywhere, I like to get a pin badge, either a map or a flag or something to show where I've been. So Sweden, and then we're flying from Sweden to Denmark, so I found that really cool double flag pin. I lost my France map on my travels, which I was a bit gutted about. So we got the train to the airport from Stockholm centre to the airport, and then we're boarding an internal flight now to Copenhagen. This is just us queuing to get on. It turned into a bit of a running adventure. This was all of my idea, just because I wanted to do a park run in Denmark as well while we were here. Basically, park runs are normally on a Saturday, but every now and then they have a special day, and it just so happened that this was the special day for Denmark was Monday while we were in Sweden. So we got this flight. It was pretty cheap, about 60 quid to go over, and it just meant that we'd be able to get that park run in Copenhagen and also see Copenhagen as well, which is part of the fun of the trip. So this is us setting off. Absolutely beautiful views. Everything was just green, and there was water everywhere. I don't know if I get this on film, but this sort of trees and then lakes. It's really nice. I wasn't sure what to expect from the weather, but we had such nice weather while we were here. It was just sunshine the whole time, at around 22 degrees. There you can see the water, and it was just like this. When we flew across Denmark to get to Stockholm, and you could just see all the water and the land in the mix. And this is us sort of arriving into Denmark, into Copenhagen. You can see the lovely beaches there, nice smooth landing. I used to be scared of flying when I was younger, but I'm all right now. And then no hostel this time, we're in a proper hotel. This was quite a decent hotel, about a 10-minute walk from the tube station. So we just got here, dropped our bags off, and then we headed into town to do some touristy stuff. Basically looking for food, but also having a nice look around, and again learning the public transport. It's normally an underground, like a metro, which I'm pretty clued up on. Just follow the maps, follow the lines, pretty straightforward. And then the Monday morning, after a really nice dinner in Copenhagen on the Sunday night, we went for another park run, and this one was absolutely heaving with people because it was their special day. They had such a great turnout. There was lots of English people we were speaking to. People couldn't believe that we'd done the marathon and then we're doing a park run. Look how clear that water is. So it was just a great atmosphere. The briefing, normally at a park run they'll give you a short briefing at the start of the run, tell you a little bit about the run, ask anyone if they're tourists, if they're coming from anywhere special. This one went on for about half an hour. They were singing songs. It was just great experience. And the great thing about Parkrun is the community. So everyone was chatting, getting to know each other. We stayed at the back because we knew this was going to be slow because our legs were in bits. Now, I think I did this one in about 40 minutes. Afterwards, though, the best part of this Parkrun, because it's on the beach, a lot of people, when they've done the run, they go and get in the sea. So you can see here, they've got this pier. All these people that have just done the park run, they come along and they get in the water together. It was just really good. That's just where we finished the run, right where those buildings are. And then a little bit more tourism. We've got to get the plane back home, unfortunately, but we came out again, did a bit more exploring. I mean, this is just the river, the canal that runs through the middle of Copenhagen, and the water is crystal clear. It's so nice. So many bikes, similar to Amsterdam, bikes everywhere. Everyone's on a bike. Yeah, we just spent the afternoon here in the sunshine again. Went out for food, did a little bit of souvenir shopping, got some more pin badges, and then it was on the plane back home. And that's it, adventure over. Now I'm home. The medal from the marathon goes onto my medal hanger. Now this, I don't know where I got this idea from. I think I just thought of it one day. But I found this corkboard map on Amazon. It's framed, it's just like a notice board. And this was from Etsy. It's like a handmade, it came from Scandinavia, wooden medal hanger that I put all my medals on. Basically, past adventures is the red pin and future runs are the silver pin. So on here, we've just done a pin in the map for the Stockholm Marathon and one in Copenhagen for the Denmark run. And I've got my 3 future marathons planned here. So we're doing Warsaw in Poland in September, Lisbon in Portugal in October, and Athens in Greece in November. So when I've done those, they'll change to red, and any more I plan, most of them will be in Europe, but maybe, who knows, one day I'll do one in America. I'd love to do New York, Boston. I don't think I'd qualify for Boston. Maybe Chicago. One in Canada would be great. But we'll see. We'll see where the journey takes me.